maybe usher people to their seats so we can get the program ongoing. Mr. JJ, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Luvuyo Bangazi. I work at the MBDA, and we are fortunate to be able to work across 3 different offices at the tramways, right here in Kariega, Drosti Street, as well as the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. I'll be directing the program, so my job is to really get us through this program as efficiently as possible, so you will not hear a lot from me. But what I can tell you now is that if at any point you feel like you need to find a place of relief, it's out on my left, and then to your left, that's where you'll find the ladies and gents. When you do that, please take note, our usual VIPs are usually very short people, so don't bump your head when you move around. We encourage you to use your cell phone. Please put it on mute. And if you really have to, if you're a social butterfly, please hashtag 10 years of science. So please do that, hashtag 10 years of science. We've got a broad range of stakeholders in the room. My job is not to welcome you, but the unofficial welcome is that you are welcome. And to do this, I would like to call upon to do the official welcoming and the purpose of today's event, which is 10 years of celebrating inspiring science and minds to new worlds of 4IR and the digital revolution. This center is a symbol of progress in this region. But to do that, please, let's give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Ms. Kahlana, the Nelson Mandela Bay Science Center Advisory Committee Chairperson. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noxolo Kahlana, as they've said. This is a very beautiful but also very intimidating crowd. And as I am an African, before I greet everybody, if you're feeling very nervous as an African, what we do, it doesn't matter what the occasion, we sing. So I'm going to do that today in order to remove the nerves so that I am able to pass the message clearly and welcome everybody very well. Yiza imithandazo yethu sikelela Nkosi sikelela sikele Tina lusapolwa yizwa baba yizwa lemithandazo yethu sikelela Nkosi sikelela Tina lusapolwa makube njalo makube njalo makube njalo kuze kube ngunaphakade kuze kube ngunaphakade. Wow. Thank you very much for indulging this village girl. I really, really appreciate that. I want to greet my fellow advisory board members first, and thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate your time. I want to greet the board members from the Mandela Bay Development Agency, especially the chairperson, Madame Hendricks. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. We really, Perumal, forgive me. When we got appointed, thank you, Chair. When we got appointed, we were all having meetings virtually. So it's the first time we're seeing the center, most of us, and we are in awe of the size and the beauty and the amazing work. So please forgive us for being overwhelmed. I also want to greet the MMC of the municipality, Mr. Namete, with all his entire team. I want to greet the team from the development agency, the team from the center. Also greetings to learners if they are here, the parents, the teachers, everybody from the Department of Education and Department of Science and Technology. Also fellow colleagues from the corporate sector. I come from Sasol, I head up the Sasol Foundation, but I know we have colleagues from Volkswagen, we have colleagues from Isuzu, and all other corporates that have been supporting the center all the years. You are welcome, you are greeted, and everybody that I've missed, we really, really appreciate your time, and we are grateful that you are here, and we welcome you. We are here to celebrate 10 years of science, 10 years of excellence in science, and 10 years of making science fun and available to young people who, if this facility was not here, wouldn't have had such an opportunity. The center was established in 2013, and the primary objective of today's event is to recognize the significant accomplishments of the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center over the past 10 years. And I'll highlight just a few, because when I look at the team and how young they are, and how few they are, and how limited their resources are, I am shocked at how much they've managed to achieve in 10 years. And we are hoping by highlighting this momentous occasion today, there are people who will come to us and say, you know what, we like what you're doing. Can we partner with you to make the circle bigger? That's the reason why we're throwing a party today. We are baiting you so that you are able to partner with us, so that we have more of these kind of models and these centers, especially in this province, because it is needed the most. So in highlighting what the center has achieved, I'll just go through a few. The center is registered with the Department of Science and Innovation as a science center. It's an accreditation that is not easy to go through. I've seen centers struggling for years to be accredited. For this center to be accredited and be at a level 2 accreditation is a huge thing. A big well done to the management team for that. It's got great impact. It reaches over 140,000 learners, youth, teachers, and have been positively influenced through the center's STEMI program, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and innovation. The center provided over 80 final year students and graduates with valuable workplace experiment learning opportunities. That is not easy to get. There are graduates who struggle for years in order to get their work placement, in order to finish their qualification. The center provided over 10 temporary work opportunities, successfully created permanent employment opportunities for 5 graduates who participated in the Nelson Mandela Bay Science Center programs, contributing to their career growth. It has managed to forge and establish over 40 funding and collaboration partnerships, and that's not easy in this economy, with organizations and institutions facilitating the expansion and sustainability of their initiatives. It fostered collaborations with 10 international partners, promoting global knowledge and exchange and innovation. It offers a diverse part of programs, developed and implemented over 10 different program offerings, catering for various age groups and interests, addressing diverse scientific disciplines. Conducted over 10 training programs specifically designed to empower unemployed youth with valuable skills and knowledge. Some of the success stories: the center produced 2 graduates who participated in the after-school maths and science program, specializing in information technology and building engineering. It established 6 science clubs in schools located in Uitenhage, fostering a love for science and providing additional learning opportunities. Trained and supported over 20 learners who participated in the national competitions, resulting in their exceptional performance and recognizing through prestigious awards. One of my favorite parts, the knowledge exchange and dissemination. The center authored and presented over 15 conference papers showcasing their research, insights, and contribution to the field of science and technology. In an age where we need African solutions that are designed and brewed in Africa by Africans, I cannot overemphasize the need to support and expand models like these, where young people are exposed to science and technology and maths and engineering at such an early age. Because the world they're going to be living in the next 10 to 15 years is completely different from the world we grew up in. And everything from the minute we wake up to what we eat to where we work, everything requires science, everything requires technology, everything requires some form of engineering. And given our socio-economic challenges, we have to push our kids to start innovating, to start being problem solvers through coding and robotics especially at such an early age. You will forgive me for belaboring the point, but it is very important, even for the growth of our country and our economy. Finally, the center annually hosts 4 national events, bringing together experts, educators, and enthusiasts to promote science and technology awareness. It hosted the 16th Southern African Association of Science and Technology Centers International Conference, serving as a platform for knowledge sharing and collaboration among science centers. It also holds international competitions. The facility is 1 science lab, 1 library, 1 computer lab, auditorium, workshop, 2 classrooms, and over 100 exhibits, providing engaging and interactive learning experience for visitors. In my closing, to the people that have supported the center in all these 10 years, we appreciate you, and we are hoping for continued support. And to the executive team, we are very, very proud of you, especially you and the volunteers. There are a lot of volunteers who come in and out of the center. We appreciate your labor of love, and long live to the power of science, maths, technology, and innovation. Well done, team. You did well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much for some wise words. And I think if you're wondering about our chairperson of this advisory committee, she kind of briefly mentioned, I'm involved with the SASO Foundation. Let me tell you something about the SASO Foundation she heads up. It's given over 850 million in 13 years. It's developed 180 workbook titles for grade R. They've donated 11 mobile laboratories in 300 rural areas, and they have given over 10 million rand to learners to support their work. Let's give a round of applause. All right, so we'll catch up on the agenda because we did start a minute or so late. I've noted board chair is here, board member Conjo is here, I see Debbie. There's a lot of people from PE who've made the trip to Uitenhage. It's an outing for us, you know. Kabeja, yeah. So it's a great, here we go, Kareja. It's a great outing for us. Also have to, you gotta stay to your lane. So the chair welcomed all of you. I'd like to welcome everybody who's watching us via our live streams. We're live on YouTube at the Science Center YouTube page. We're live on Facebook Live. And those who are listening to us in Gqeberha and here in Kareja via Nkqubela FM. There's 220,000 people who listen to that radio station. They are tuned in to us as we continue here so that we can share the good news. But to give us more about who is in this advisory committee and what do they do, I'd like to call upon a colleague who's never shy to get a voice heard. I enjoy working with Singer because you know where you stand. And it's that driving force that's actually working with the team that's really made it possible, Chair, for certain things to move. She hardly takes no. I haven't mastered the no to her in all these years. But yes, let's welcome Ms. Singatwa Poswa, who is our Research and Innovation Manager at the MBDA and responsible directly for this operation here in Kareja. Singa, please come up.
Thanks, Mr. Albie. Can you all see me? Okay. The Honorable MMC and his delegation, the MBDA Board of Directors, Advisory Committee to the Science Center, the MBDA Executive Management, esteemed guests and colleagues, thank you. I'm truly humbled by everyone who has honored our invitation to attend the Center's 10th year anniversary. Today marks a momentous occasion in our history. We gather here to commemorate a decade of extraordinary accomplishments and significant progress made by the Science Center. It has been an incredible journey, and I feel privileged to be part of the team that has contributed to the growth of this institution and witnessed its transformative impact on the communities around the Nelson Mandela Bay. Over the past decade, we have worked tirelessly to inspire, educate, and engage our visitors with the wonders of science. We have brought in thought-provoking initiatives, hosted workshops and symposiums, and fostered a culture of curiosity that we hope will continue to thrive for many years to come. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the dedicated team that has worked tirelessly behind the scenes. From our facilitators to our coordinators, from our volunteers to our sponsors in general, and the Mandela Bay Development Agency in particular, each and every one of them has played an integral role in making this achievement possible. Allow me to express my sincere gratitude to everyone here today and every partner and individual that has played an integral role in the Science Center. Our success is all owed to you. You have stood with us throughout this journey. You have shared and believed in our vision. And without your unwavering support, we would not have been here today celebrating a decade. So today, it is my honor to introduce exceptional individuals who have played a pivotal role in shaping the very foundation of our success. The Science Center Advisory Committee was first established in 2019 to drive the Center's strategy and provide strategic and technical advice on advancing our programs, as well as propelling the Science Center to new heights. The new committee commenced its duties in November 2022, and for the past 6 months, their expertise have been invaluable. Without further ado, I kindly request the committee members to join me on stage when I call out their names. Yes, Sissy. Firstly, we have Ms. Noxolo Kahlana, who is the head of Sasol Foundation Trust, and she is the committee chairperson. And then we have Ms. Nomso Kana. Ms. Nomso is the director at Sun and Shield Technologies, and she is the deputy chairperson of the committee. Mr. Basanda Pongoma. Basanda is a business development specialist at UNISA Startup Academy. Mr. Richmond Festile. Mr. Festile is a senior education specialist at the Department of Education. And then we have Mr. Sikumbuzo Nofemele, who is a lecturer at the Faculty of Education at the Nelson Mandela University. Ms. Yandiswa Mdlalose. Ms. Yandiswa is a production process coach at Fort South Africa. And then we have Ms. Bongekile Filana. Ms. Bongekile is the Assistant Director for ICT Innovation and SMME Support at the Office of the Minister of Communication and Digital Technologies. And then we have Ms. Gugule Mtweni, who unfortunately could not be here today. Ms. Mtweni is a monitoring and evaluations coordinator at the South African Association for Science and Technology Advancement. And then lastly, we have Ms. Nomfundo Metula, who also unfortunately could not join us today. And Ms. Metula is the managing director at Old Mutual. To each member of the advisory committee, thank you. Your guidance, expertise, and unwavering support have been the lifeblood of the center. Your tireless efforts have opened doors, forged new opportunities, and empowered us to make a lasting impact on the communities we serve. Your expertise have been invaluable, and we are honored to have you as our partners in this exciting journey. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues.
I think it's just me, but I didn't quite get the warmth of that clap. I didn't. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Singer. Thank you, Advisory Board, Advisory Committee members. So, the MBDA has been around for 20 years, and thankfully we've been around for 10 years with the Science Center. But in that 20 years, the MBDA in about 2011 got involved with the upgrade of the square here, the town hall square. And a few other projects have happened in Kariega, including informal trading, regulation, top-up cleaning service. But we always operated from a back room of a back room. And in 2016, the city made the recommendation or resolution to hand over the operations and the management of this center. We suddenly went from one room to this thing. It's massive. And with that, it came a whole lot of coordination, a whole lot of planning, and over time, the Science Center has become central and integral to the operations of the MBDA. So to tell you more about where we're going with that integration and forward planning, I'd like to call upon the operations executive, our boss, Ms. Debbie Hendricks, to come and outline what the plan is going forward. Let's give her a hand.
Good morning. Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Do you still call them that? Master of Ceremonies? No? Program Director? Yeah. 1980 education. Honorable MMC, councillors of the Nelson Mandela Municipality, the MBDA Board of Directors, the Advisory Committee, colleagues, our teams, colleagues from the Nelson Mandela Municipality, the directorates, I see a couple of familiar faces, all our partners, and friends of the Science Centre. Allow me to greet you. I'm Debbie Hendricks. Today also have a hospital pass that I just heard is mine for the day, which is the acting CEO. So to the team, anything you need signed today, bring it today. Yeah, it will be signed today. Okay. So I think during the course of the program, there will be a lot of emphasis on the achievements, the 10 years in the past, what we have managed to achieve during this time. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. In fact, no time. I just realized that there is also a little video, and I think it will be covered in the board chair's address as well. But just on in the future plans, I think Lebuya mentioned that the Science Centre is integral to the plans of the MBDA. MBDA itself has been established in 2003, so we are exactly 20 years old. So, yeah, we've come a long way. We've had a lot of good successes to report on, but there's also been challenges. We have to be honest that, you know, some things haven't quite worked out in the way that we have envisaged, but that is what development is about. It's not a straight line. It's back and forth, around and round in circles, coming back, improving on mistakes, learning as you go along. So that's the nature of our business. And we do take risks sometimes, not always doing the correct thing in the correct way, but we're learning. But we also positioned ourselves as an entity that is at the forefront of research and innovation. That means taking risks, forging paths where there hasn't been where paths have not been formed, bush clearing, if you like, but we're okay with that. We're also okay with you're not going to do anything if you are not prepared to take risk and fail, and failure is part of development. So the Science Centre has come a long way. Singa and her team are doing an amazing, incredible job. Friends, you have no idea. I think, Singa, how many permanent staff members? 3? Okay, so two for programs, Singa, and then 4 for program, yeah, 2 permanent and then 4 for programs. We have a lot of interns, not a lot, 3 or 4 at a time. In the last 2 months, we've had 5 resignations, not because they're unhappy, but the centre is also a springboard for them. It's students that come and do their practicals, so they move on, which is part of what the centre does. But it's hit us so bad that we've actually had to postpone and cancel some events because of short staff. The MBDA itself, like I said, the Science Centre is not separate from the operations of the MBDA itself. So the MBDA has also been challenged by its own operational challenges. It is currently in a situation where we have to reflect on the 20 years. The agency of 20 years ago is not the agency of today. Things have changed. When I've come to know the agency, we had budgets of 190, 180 capital funds per annum. That has dwindled right down to 30, 40 million. It's made for a very difficult operating environment. And strangely enough, it's not so difficult to get capital money because we have been able to source external funding. The big challenge for the centre is actually operational funds. It's to cover staff costs. It's the maintenance of the building. It's the upkeep and the updating of exhibitions. It's that sort of thing that external funders will tell you, no, it's a municipal facility, the municipality must take care of it. That's also been a challenge because the municipality itself is stretched for funds. I believe our rates collection rate has gone down from 97%, which is 2 years ago, to just under 60%. That's unheard of in the life of the municipality. So there's simply not just enough money to go around. What does that mean for our center? Do we sit and watch this happen on our watch? No, that's not the type of stock we come from. You fight. We have a young team, mostly black individuals, I must add, that have given their all to the cause. We work in difficult circumstances, and we are able to do a lot, I think, my personal opinion, with very limited resources. Imagine if we were actually funded or supported with the necessary resources in the way that we should be, what justice we can actually do to the center and to the youth of the Bay. In terms of short and to medium term plans, one of the things, like I've mentioned, is obviously the review of the organizational structure. The current situation is not sustainable. Singa is actually our research and innovations manager for the MBDA. She doubles that post as the center manager for the Science Center. That is also not sustainable. Something's got to give. So we want to be at the forefront of research and innovation on behalf of our city. We're all talking about a smart city, but the implementation of that is going to need some dedicated resources. We've employed Singa for that. So if she cannot give all her time to that, that suffers, which is also an element of the work of the center. But the center itself needs a dedicated manager. So that's one of the things in the short term that needs to be addressed. Then obviously the issue of improved planning and budgeting. It's a municipal facility, and matters such as maintenance, repairs, security remains a huge challenge due to the budget limitations I've mentioned. Although basic provisions can be made to the center, we have to look at alternative sourcing of funds for its, oopsie, sorry, that's me, for its operations. The upgrade and the maintenance of the facility, in my mind still looks very good, but it cannot be a science center with exhibitions that are 10, 15 years old. Kids have moved on. If it's not in a screen, if it hasn't got flashing lights and moving parts, and it's like, I brought my 17-year-old a couple of years back, and he came out of here with a list of improvements to the center. So maybe that's our clientele that we should bring in here and ask them, so what do you think? You know, how are we doing? I think you'll get an honest review on what we should be focusing on and what works for the youth and what doesn't work for the youth. But remember, the center is not just a place for youngsters and families to come and play with exhibitions, interesting things, etc. That is almost, it's a basis to work from, but it's almost a side issue to the real purpose of the Science Center. But having said that, your facility would give you confidence as to how things are being managed. So if your facility is in a bad state, people lose interest. You cannot even manage your own facility. So that's why we can't stress the importance of keeping it up to standard. Ventilation is what we have on our budget in the short term to address. Roof repairs, air conditioning. I mean, we can just thank God that it's not hot today, because air conditioning is not sufficient. We need to add to the ablution facilities of the center. The center, on occasion, accommodates bus loads of children. I think there's 4 stalls in the ladies and 4 stalls in the gents. It is not sufficient to deal with that crowd that comes, you know, in one go. The learner groups that come in here can be quite large. the updating of the exhibits. This needs to be done periodically. The center needs to display cutting-edge technology. The exhibits need to be replaced. Some of them just needs a repair and replacement, but it's an ongoing challenge to do this. You need a dedicated team almost. You know, if kids play with something on a daily basis, you can imagine the lifespan of that exhibit is not too long. The Utenhage railway sheds, I don't know if you've noticed, but maybe on your way out, there is a building on the left-hand side as you exit the building. It's an old railway sheds for trams. It's currently under construction, also a project of the MBDA. The project has suffered some delays, but we are in the process of procuring a new contractor. To be completed in 2024, midway 2025. But the intention is part of the railway sheds. The size of the sheds is about 4 times the size of this room. Part of that would accommodate the extension of the Science Center. The idea is that this extended center would actually provide a venue similar to what we have in the tramways, which is in the inner city, but for greater exhibits around science and technology, science, STEM fairs, all sorts of exciting and uses associated with the center that you actually don't have to move your core area. You can actually have it in the event space next door. So that's part of the expansion plans for the Science Center. The outreach programs to the schools. Unfortunately, we are really limited by resources. We do a lot. Singa's got the figures at the top of your head. How many schools have we done for this year? 80 schools we've done in terms of outreach programs. We basically take a mobile lab and in conjunction with the Department of Education actually do experiments and exhibits and have talks with the children that's aligned to their curriculum. So it supports the teaching in the class itself. Mobile labs, we're looking to the purchasing of more vehicles to attend these schools. Part of the reason why we can't reach more schools is I think we have 2 cars and a small team. We can do a lot more. An off-road vehicle is probably needed as well. Some areas we simply cannot get to in your little Polo. It's not going to do. So that is in the plans, in the making. Then around marketing and branding of the Science Center needs to be looked at. We have to spend a little time on that. It's currently managed by the MBDA. So is it a Science Center or is it an MBDA? You know, it's both, but I think in terms of putting it out there and being clear around the messaging, it's something that we have to strengthen in terms of the identity of the Science Center in the marketplace. From a governance perspective, I think closer collaboration with the Science Center Advisory Committee and the MBDA board is on the cards. We're looking at systems and structures to formalize those so that the plans and the activities of the Science Center is under the oversight of the MBDA board, but really synergies and the interface systems are to be clarified and strengthened, as I said. Then I think for the next 5 years, we're going to focus on forging and fostering strategic partnerships, especially with business and industries in the metro and in Utenhage. There's a lot going on in Utenhage in terms of industry that we can tap on right on our doorstep. And also engaging with leaders in the industry of science and innovation, as well as institutions of basic and higher learning. I think the Science Center is one of the few centers in the country that's not specifically aligned, although we have partnerships, but not the programs of a university, for instance. So we were thinking about, students that are doing their internships, that are doing practicals, etc., to link them and work closely with the universities. The tourism sector. So the Science Centre should really be a destination. So if you come to the city and you have small kids, younger kids, there's often not a lot to do. You can go to the beachfront and the boardwalk and, you know, a couple of places, and then you've seen it all. And we believe this is an offering in the city that does not enjoy enough exposure and awareness. This is something that we should be focusing on. But it needs to be top-notch. If you're going to be putting it out there as a must-see destination in the city, it must be worth your travel from PE Airport to come here. And many cities and regions have science centers. We actually have to find a niche to make this one unique. So that is some you know, so the work that we do is a lot about thinking about what the next steps are going to be and how do we plan and position ourselves for that. Also, partnerships with community-based organizations. The center needs champions and supporters in the city. We are going to go ahead with a call for citizens to adopt certain aspects of the center. Friends of the center, if you like. You know, there's friends of a library or friends of this organization or something like that, where we can actually get volunteers to assist with capacity. Retired science teachers, people that really have an interest that could actually contribute to the center. In terms of the facility itself, its profile in the community needs to be enhanced. I mean, how many people in the municipal area and surrounds actually know about the center? I think we must actually do a survey of that and actually get the facts and the figures. How many families come to the center? Does the facility make provision for a range of age groups? We are considering a mom's corner with a safe enclosed playing area for toddlers. So whilst the bigger kids are playing, she doesn't have to not come here. She can spend the day in a little coffee shop, in a seating area, a curio shop, etc., to make it more family friendly. You know, that it's an outing for a day or an outing for half a day. Not just people wandering through the center, fiddling with the exhibits and then leave. Also, with the expansion of the center, along with the railway sheds, it makes for greater use to facilitate events and dedicated spaces, like I've just mentioned. I think, Lavoya, we're speaking about this in the MBDA, of bringing back the barometer of how we are faring. I think the Science Centre as an organization or a sub-entity of us, I think would benefit of something similar. To measure the impact of the centre, its reach is to develop an interest and love for STEMI subject and industries. But we have a saying that in the MBDA, if you can't measure it, you cannot manage it. So science and technology, our kids, maths, all of these subjects is critical to the growth of our country, to the growth of our economy. If we are not preparing our youth to be stepping into those spaces, we are going to find ourselves lagging behind the rest of the world. How are we doing to make an impact in this space? In our programming, is our programming relevant and geared to be in the correct areas? We need to measure and track this effectiveness and for the bettering of our offerings. Example coding will be the next official language. If this is being rolled out at a large scale to make an impact towards preparing our youth for the skills that they will require and for the new requirements of the job markets. There are products and services that don't exist anymore because time has moved on. I was thinking about, I explained to my kids the other day of the notion of taking a film to a place to go and develop so that you can get a photograph. They didn't understand what I'm talking about. So Kodak is out of business. They never thought that they would go out of business. In the same way that these industries are going obsolete, new ones are entering the market. And we have to align ourselves to these developments. App development, robotics, cell phone repairs, booming. Gaming is now a $15 billion US dollar industry. It's a different world out there. And when my son, sorry I talk about my kids a lot, but when my son tells me, no, he's not going to go and study engineering, he's going to be a professional gamer. I thought, what? What's that? And then when he got into it and he started making money and dollars appearing in his bank account, I got concerned. I thought he's into some illegal gambling, not gaming. And then I researched a little bit. Colleagues, if we are not there, we are missing out in a huge sector of the market. We speak about the fourth industrial revolution and smart cities, but we cannot allow our children and our youth that does not have access to these resources and opportunities to stand by while the world is advancing at an unprecedented pace. The Science Center is more than a place to come and look at interesting exhibits. It needs to reach the most disadvantaged areas of our communities and open a world to that child with a bright mind. The Elon Musks, the Nikola Teslas, the Steve Jobs of this world, we have to see that possibility in our children. We owe it to them and our future to make sure that they are not left behind and that they are given a fighting shot. So there are a lot of plans afoot. Some of them look like pipe dreaming, but anything worthwhile starts with a dream. So we are actually taking those dreams and putting them to paper, talking to the relevant people, looking at funding sources because we believe in the center, we believe in its future. It would be an indictment on us all here if we let this place go to ruin, if we don't take it into the next century, if we don't do this for, if not ourselves, our children. I thank you.
Thank you, Dee. Always, even if she's using notes, but you can hear she speaks from the heart. Thank you very much for sharing, Dee. I think we need a bit of energy here. It's almost lunch. We all know how to count 1 to 10, right? But when we get to 10, I want to hear the loudest noise. I want to hear ululations. I want to hear a clap. Because getting to 10 years in this environment with the challenges we've faced and the prospects of the future we're looking at, we need to be excited. Are we right? Okay, so I'm going to count from 1. Okay, at 10, blow me away, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10! There we go. All right. See, for the next speaker, you need that energy. Because our next speaker is our wonderful board chairperson. For those who don't understand how these things work, a municipal entity is a company owned by the city. It's under legislation in terms of Municipal Systems Act. The council then appoints a board of directors who then appoint an executive management. And the roles are very clear. Executive management, you have to lead, direct resources, manage the operations. The board does the leadership oversight and strategic drive for the entity. The two sit hand in glove. And the people that represent the city's interest at the MBDA become the extension of council being the board. So let us welcome Ms. Glenda Perumal, the MBDA's board chairperson.
Yaiva, silapha ngoko. Program director, you did ask for energy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Glenda Perumal, the chairperson of the Mandela Bay Development Agency. Honorable MMC, Councillor Namete, councillors present, members of the MBDA board present, the Science Centre's Advisory Board members present, stakeholders, and all colleagues, greetings and welcome. All protocol observed. Just thought it would be amiss not to give a special recognition to the Centre's Advisory Board, as they are the individuals who pay it forward and give of their time without a payment. We are grateful, extremely grateful. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a week ago, the South African Department of Basic Education released findings about the literacy progress in our schools, in particular grade 4s. The Progress in International Reading Literacy Study report has revealed that 81% of grade 4 pupils in South Africa can't read for meaning. Colleagues, let that sink in for a minute. That is 8 out of 10 grade 4 pupils who do not understand the words they read. This, nearly 30 years into the into the democratic dispensation. These horrific numbers are aggregated, meaning in some areas the problem might be worse. We all know how challenged some schools in poorer areas are, and the immense difficulties these young learners must go through. Such massive challenges call for facilities such as this to push back and be part of the solution. It is in the engagement that those young minds start to open to new possibilities. South Africa is full of opportunities, but we also know that many in communities are not able to access such opportunities. We therefore not only invite schools to come to us, but we also go to them. We go where the need is great. Colleagues, we know very well that one must walk the talk, so we make it possible for our team to be part of the global science community, to participate and engage with the hope of exchanging ideas to the betterment of the facility and our programs. But where to from here? What does the next 10 years look like? What is our contribution in turning the tide and improving education outcomes? The answer is collaboration. Collaboration, collaboration. Joint efforts and building synergies. The board of MBDA, the custodian of this amazing facility, is already discussing ways to strengthen this operation. We trust that we, together with you as partners, can put shoulder to the wheel and make the next 10 years full of positive impact and create space for our children to flourish in STEM education. South Africa is lagging in the adoption of 4IR, whilst children in development countries are already engaged in coding, robotics, machine and learning, and reality. If we can't get our grade 4s to read with comprehension, then I shudder to think about the impact down the road. Now is the time to act, to partner with us, and together we can make a difference. The MBDA's new 5-year plan is prioritizing the Kariga precinct, and in particular, the facility as a launch pad for greater involvement and developments in the region. In closing, I would like to congratulate all the staff of the MBDA and those who operate from this facility. It is tough when resources are limited. We all know that. But you all get up every day to come here and make a difference. And for that, the board salutes you. The management team, led by the acting CEO, Mpho Mokenyama, operations executive, Debbie Hendricks, STC and MBDA innovation manager, Singa Cooley, and all supporting staff, we say, we note your dedication and commitment, and the board is with you all the way. To the partners who work with this facility all year round, sponsors and funders, we thank you for your support, and we beg that you do not tire. Here is to another 10 years of excellence. I thank you.
Ladies and gents, that is the boss. Let's give her a round of applause. And I don't just say that just because June, July is negotiations for increases. Just saying. All right, back to the program. Thank you, Chair, for those amazing words. And I heard Debbie talk about partnerships that are important, and somewhere there she slipped in a few needs of the center. And I remembered that there are very important partners in the room. She spoke about the need for off-road vehicles. And I think we make vehicles in this town, don't we? Just a hint. And I seem to remember there's someone from Ford in the room, but I'm not saying anything. Ladies and gents, it's 10 years of excellence. This facility has hosted international events. I think there's about 4 annually. It's been covered as a pilot in many areas. The team here has published, I think, 15 conference papers, engaging with colleagues at an equal level. So we don't just have ladies running the show, we have very, very smart people running the show. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, so we're at the point now where we're going to receive donations, messages of support. We'll take donations. And in fact, this is serious. We have a pledging section in our program. So if you have a CFO back where you come from, ask him what's in your CSI budget right now, please. If you have a slush fund, trust fund, X fund, any fund, we'll take the funds. So we're going to call upon our guests and partners for messages of support. And as a non-executive, I've made an executive decision to move people around. We're going to start with the Department of Education. We were expecting the chief of the region, but we have our very able advisory board, advisory committee member, who is from the Department of Education in the Eastern Cape, Mr. Festile, to provide message of support. Mr. Festile, thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Richmond Mzwakhe Festile, the subject advisor for natural sciences, sometimes called the senior education specialist for natural sciences. I want first to sponsor my, disclaimer. If it happens that I do not meet the expectations here, to say whatever that is offline. Fortunately, you know that I'm representing the district director, Mr. Kokonzola. You must know that he is the one speaking. If, however, it happens that I'm really on point, please say that Richmond Mzwakhe Festile was speaking. Mine is simple, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've been looking around. I was really hoping that the district director will pitch up here. I was told that he is on his way from East London, but if he makes the time, he will come straight here. So I'd rather also give the apology on his behalf. Mine, as I said, will be short. I hope so, because I just prepared moving, you know, in Xhosa I will say, inkomo yenqoma yintsengo ibheka. So, in other words, this position that I'm in is not mine. This is a borrowed position. So it could be taken by any time. So as I'm standing here, he could be walking in there, and I'll be glad I'll just jump off here if he could walk in there. Mine is to congratulate and to say alala to the Science Center for reaching this milestone of 10 years. It's a real milestone. You know, when this center was being in the planning stage, I happened to be around here. I just don't remember the gentleman who was managing that. I would come here and I saw the plan. The plan was beautiful, but I've seen most of the things have actually taken place here that were in the plan. And the madam that was speaking here also indicated about the other structures behind here. And I really saw that those structures were in the plans then. I'm looking forward to seeing those plans being achieved. But even before I say, or rather go any further, colleagues, I just wish to acknowledge my colleagues that are here. We've got Dr. Govender within our midst, who is in teacher development, Nelson Mandela Provincial Teacher Development Institute, there at the back. Dr. Govender, thank you. Also, within our midst, we've got Mr. Van Tonder, who is Education Development Official. Hello, sir. Thank you. We also have from e-learning, Mrs. Sangani, Molomem. Thank you. I didn't even know that they are here, but I thought I should acknowledge them. If I happen to have missed anyone from the Department of Education, my apologies. That's not my duty to do that, so please excuse me. Colleagues, this center, fortunately, as I said, I am the Department of Education on the subject, natural sciences. So I'm working hand in glove with the center. So in other words, the Department of Education actually appreciates this center. And we are not only appreciating it, but we are utilizing it. I must also say that I've taken it upon myself as the subject advisor to make sure that more schools, or even all the schools in the metro, utilize the center. Because sometimes, I get so annoyed when I get into the center, I see buses from other districts, from other provinces, coming to access this facility. And when you interact with the teachers around the district, you find out that these teachers do not even know about this center. So whenever I'm having meetings and workshops with the teachers, or even I do the on-site visits in schools, and the school tell me that, no, we do not have a thermometer, we do not have ABC, I say to them, call Pumza, call Tabile, talk to Uzukiswa in the admin there, so that you book and make sure that those things you get. So their programs, their outreach programs, are really appreciated because, some schools want to access the center, but they will say, we do not have money. The parents don't have money to transport the learners to the school to come and have the assistance of Utabile here. So in that case, Pumza is there. She will drive to those schools. We as the Department of Education, unfortunately, we are working with the schools in most cases that do not have the resources. So the resources that are in this center, we have to make sure that they are accessed by our schools because they've got world class, shall I say, of the resources, but that's not enough. I'm also, as I'm giving the message of support, also calling to the people who are right here with us to assist the center. I've already also, or rather the program director, have already indicated that we have got factories around here. Yoma, VW, and there is Sasol within our midst, beautiful. And there is got Ford within our midst. It means that the center has got the potential to get good rewards going forward. As these subjects, that are actually under the Department of Education, I've indicated that the resources are not enough for our schools. I want to also say something, what we have initiated this year, which is called a COP in natural sciences here in the metro, where I looked around the social partners that we can form a successful initiative together. Some of these partners I have taken centrally that were in the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center. We have got also from the Nelson Mandela University the key concept there. We've got Science to Go, which is, I think, assisted by UKASME. We've got teacher development in that thing that is led by Dr. Govenda and Mrs. Bula. Also, madam that spoke here before me talked about the fact that we are in the 4th industrial revolution and coding is going to be one of the official languages very soon, and that is coming. That is coming, we really have to look out for that. Talking about that, I am referring to the fact that we have got also within ourselves Dr. Beyer, who is leading UYESA. He's seated there at the back. He is also dealing with the coding, and he's got other things that I cannot explain. He's much better to explain that one. And Tangible Africa, led by Professor Greiling from University of Nelson Mandela. So those are the people that the Department of Education is trying to bring closer to make sure that we improve the results of this, of physical sciences, in fact. Because at the end, that goes to the results of physical sciences, mathematics, technology, and engineering, of course. As I'm about to sit down, colleagues, I wish to say well done to the milestone that has actually been reached by the center. You know, I want to quote one more thing that was said in his paper, Solomon, in 1985. We are doing science. We're doing science, and he says science, physical science or sciences, belongs to the laboratory. Just like cooking, that belongs in the kitchen. And that's like, I don't want to talk about that thing, gardening, that belongs in the garden. But we are expected to do science in the schools that do not have this laboratory. And there are other entities that are out there. I'm reminded now of the fact that I'm seeing Mrs. Bruat in front of me, that they have received a kit, a science kit from Eastern Cape Gambling Board members. I remember you talked about gambling here. From the Eastern Cape Gambling Board. That kit is assisting us as the Department of Education. Well done for the milestone singer. Thank you so much. I am Richmond Mzwake Festi.
I got stuck at Richmond. Forgot everything else. All right, we're moving on with the program. Thank you very much, Department of Basic Education. And, you know, we support local businesses, we support local talent, we support science, we support the development of people holistically. And we do have some entertainment for you, but I thought let's, before it comes at the main branch breakaway, and before we call up the Department of Science and Innovation, the Department of Science and Innovation officially opened this facility in 2013. See my maths. And by then, Minister Derek Hanekom stood here, officially opened this facility. So the department has kept very strong relations with the center. And we have a message from the Director General of that department, which is Dr. Mjwaka. But before we share that message, which will come on screen right now, I'm trying to signal to the team, they're ready. We'd like to hear from Michael Matebe, local muso here in Kariega, just to give us a couple of minutes of entertainment as we load the video. Michael Matebe, let's give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. My name is Michael. I'm elated to be here, and I'll render a couple of items for you. All right, let's go. Nitoture au nembe maiti yote I lebona eweni masier na utiu nitoture au nembe maiti yote I lebona eweni machechu changa mayoki yoki 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 spono no sam Yokutanda, my yoki yoki, yoki yoki, spono no sam, Yokutanda, nidomufuna, misiate, hote, nito imanaye, nidomutogomera. Misiate, hote, nito imanaye, atitakana, masier no tiu, Achiriro, live on and die. Let's go, my yoki yoki. Sing it. Yoki yoki. Spawn on a sam. Kiakutanda. My yoki yoki. Yoki yoki. Spawn on a sam. Kiakutanda. I promise not to hurt you, baby, not to harm you, baby, not to make you cry. No, 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 no. I'll never leave you, baby. I adore you, baby. Need to imanaye, my yoki yoki. Yoki yoki, spawn on a sam. Yakutanda, my yoki yoki, yoki yoki, spawn on a sam. Yakutanda, sing it. I deliver. Hey, spawn on a sam. Yakutanda, my yoki yoki. Yoki yoki, spawn on a sam, Kiakutanda. Thank you.
That's just a taste of things to come when we break away, when we're done. It is a celebration, it is 10 years, and we are happy to be here. As I mentioned earlier, we have a message from the National Department of Science and Innovation, the major stakeholder of the center. And let's fix our eyes on the screen to listen and get a message from Dr. Mjwaha, the Director General. Thank you.
Let me begin by acknowledging the presence of the luminaries in our midst. Ms. Nkolo Kahlana, the Advisory Committee Chairperson of the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center, Ms. Debbie Hendricks, the Operations Executive, Ms. Glenda Peruma, Board Chairperson, Ms. Nomsokana, the Advisory Committee Deputy Chairperson, and Ms. Mpo Makonyama, the Acting CEO, and Ms. Singato Poswa, Research, Innovation and Sustainability Manager. I appreciate so much being afforded the opportunity to add my celebratory voice to this special event on behalf of the Department of Science and Innovation. I would have loved to be there in person, but the event coincided with the Minister's Budget Vote activities that are taking place this week. It is not just the celebration that makes this special day. It is what this day represents in our minds and in the eyes of the community of Nelson Mandela Bay, as well as the Eastern Cape province. This day is special because it marks a decade of service to the community by the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center and its staff. It is a special day because the center's continuous existence 10 years down the line confirms that its leadership has successfully managed to navigate through the obstacles and challenges that are encountered locally and globally by institutions of this nature. As we celebrate this day, we also celebrate a decade of collective leadership excellence of the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center. As we reflect on the past decade, it is also worth looking at what the next decade will look like. Obviously, there are several developments that need to be taken into consideration in pursuit of science engagement and mathematics, science and technology education, which are the primary offerings of the center. We are seeing a significant shift in the focus of science engagement from the center's earlier years, when it was largely about generating public excitement about science. Science engagement has since become a process of knowledge exchange between researchers and the public. Science engagement is now a way in which scientists share their research results with the public, which provides the public with much needed knowledge for evidence-based decision making. And it is from such engagements with the public that scientists identify new research questions that shape their future science inquiries. The future skills of work requires us to approach our education differently. Our aim cannot be only to equip learners with skills for the 21st century. Bearing in mind that the skills needed for the future of work will constantly change, we should be aiming for a future-proof education that equips learners with skills to survive any technological change. As you imagine the future, I urge you to take into consideration the developments in science engagement and mathematics, science, and technology education so that you can design your role accordingly. During my visit to the center during the second quarter of 2021, I spoke about the 2019 white paper in science, technology, and innovation. In December 22, Cabinet approved the decadal plan, which is the implementation plan of the white paper for the first 10 years. The decadal plan plans ways in which we intend to enhance the science engagement program and support future-proof education and skills through science, technology, and innovation. I urge you to think about the contributions you can make in this regard. We can only make a difference through partnerships with like-minded organizations. I wish everyone well and a successful future, building further on the solid foundation established over the past 10 years. I have no doubt that the future looks bright. The Department of Science and Innovation will continue to support the Nelson Mandela Bay Science and Technology Center. I know you have fully complied with all the necessary accreditation requirements, which makes it easy to access all forms of support that we provide to science centers. I thank you.
Great job from the team securing such a high, powerful message from the DG. I'm hearing something. Okay. We nearly at the end of the program, and as you know, I think I mentioned earlier, the MBDA accounts to the citizens of Nelson Mandela Bay through a board-appointed, to a council-appointed board. And it is only then right that council is represented as we mark this occasion. To come forward for a message of support is the MMC, the member of the Mayoral Committee for Economic Development, Tourism and Agriculture, Councillor Luxolo Namete. I haven't seen him, but I'm sure there is a representative. And for that, let's give him a round of applause, a message from Councillor Mete.
Iyavakala. Program Director, Mr. Bangazi, thank you very much. My name is Yongama Zikebe, and I am the representative for the MMC. You see, in Dobandi, MMC would have closed this podium, so I'm just a part of the podium. Ms. Kahlana, Ms. Poswa, Ms. Hendricks, Ms. Perumal, a dear friend of mine, don't say that we approve things with the MBTA because we are friends. We go by the book even if we are friends. Dr. Mjwaha on the video platform, Mr. Kongonzola, okay. Ms. Ghana, EDTA colleagues, MBTA colleagues, Mr. Popokiana from the, who is the conference coordinator for Change Africa Conference, and I hope that you are going to mingle and network because Nelson Mandela Bay will be hosting the Change Africa Conference, bringing about 600 young people from across Africa and in the diaspora, and we are proud to be a supporter or a partner in that conference that will change the course of Africa and the world. Mr. Nguku is a Councillor Support Officer in the Office of the Executive Mayor, seconded to MMC Namete. Councillors in our midst, members of the media, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, molweni. Ningamangali man with the shades. We are at the Science Center and the future is bright. Allow me to express my appreciation on behalf of the member of Mayoral Committee, Councillor Xolo Namete, who is not with us today. He is around here in Garega, just at the council chamber. They are having a Mayoral Committee meeting. As you would know, we have been busy in the media. On Friday is D-Day, so we do not know for who and how is it going to go, but the media is busy covering that and keeping you posted on the developments, and that's what they are busy with there, and also municipal business. For this invitation to participate in this important 10th year anniversary celebration held under the theme Celebrating a Decade of Inspiring Minds to Explore the Marvels of Science and Technology. Allow me to commend all the management and committee of the Science Center, the MBDA team led by the capable Glenda Perumal. I have to mention that she's my friend, otherwise I'll have a problem afterwards. Stakeholders from different institutions that have made this center what it has become today. I would like to also commend the policymakers, academia, development partners in the science, innovation, technology, training, education institutions, research and innovation, science and technology and innovation governance, civil society and the private sector who have dedicated time and commitment to developing a coherent and achievable roadmap for a sustainable economic strategy that supports the growth of the science, technology, and innovation sector within the African continent, and most importantly, here in Nelson Mandela Bay. There can be no question that the development of science and technology and innovation presents an unprecedented set of opportunities for broadening the socio-economic prospects and development of Nelson Mandela Bay. We are convinced that the exchange of best practices will ensure that the science and innovation economy becomes a major contributor to job creation and for entrepreneurship in the sector. In this regard, the Nelson Mandela Bay, having 2 ports and is geared to be a leading maritime and shipping science and technology innovation hub. We boast of Aspen being also a part of science which is in our backyards. And apparently we are saving lives across the world with COVID vaccinations. The benefits of the science, technology, and innovation hold for job creation is immense. Hence, it is of critical importance that all sectors are on board to develop the much-needed knowledge, understanding, and competent skills in the sector. That will link stakeholders in the region with extensive policy support for the intake and innovation and science economy. The ICT science and innovation economy, as you know, is a mechanism for Africa to foster partnerships and collaborations with a broader goal of boosting economic growth and create jobs, with a focus on maritime transport and manufacturing, offshore oil and gas, aquaculture, maritime protection, and ocean governments, small harbor development, and coastal and maritime tourism. And if we do this right and implement in line with the terms of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we can create conditions that will further lead to jobs and economic growth, not only in the traditional areas which can become more sustainable, more so in thematic areas that will provide opportunities for knowledge sharing, partnership, and collaboration. The center draws our attention to the incommensurable wealth of the ICT, science and innovation, oceans and seas, and the important role it assumes in job creation and sustainable development. We are extremely pleased that this is now becoming one of the substance and one that contributes to the vision and plan for exponential growth in Africa and Nelson Mandela Bay. Therefore, it is crucially important that we take seriously our commitment and role in climate and weather conditions, and the connection between healthy oceans and seas, a healthy climate, and our future quality of life. We must remain vigilant and responsive to global challenges. including climate change, food and energy security, biodiversity conservation, management of marine resources, resilience in the face of marine disasters, and cybersecurity. All of these are integral to the sound development of our policy and our economy. My understanding of this celebration coincides with the African Maritime Leadership Conference that's taking place at the Boardwalk from tomorrow, with its focus on partnerships and collaborations, entrepreneurship, and skills development in relation to the ocean environment, ocean governance, and the blue economy that can be derived based on the vision that we all have a duty to eradicate poverty and to place our communities at the forefront of sustainable growth and development and allow them to participate proactively in the economy. In science, in innovation and technology, it plays a significant part and a role in achieving all of the above. Importantly, this symposium at the Boardwalk links up the African maritime domain concept, which contributes to the development of African integrated maritime human resources development strategy and various continental policies which need to complement the 2050 Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy, referred to as AIM, not AIM, the political party, to which the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University has contributed significantly in the wider African context. Hence, the basis of the understanding of the origin and intent of this conference, with its focus on the ocean environment, ocean governance, and the blue economy, can be derived from the founding documents of the African Union entitled the New Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD, which clearly spells out the pledge made by African leaders based on common vision and a shared firm conviction that they have a pressing duty to eradicate poverty and to place their countries, both individually and collectively, on a path of sustainable growth and development, and at the same time to participate actively in the world economy and body politic. As the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, we express our full support for partnership and collaboration that will certainly ensure a better science and technology centers viability for the Nelson Mandela Bay, the Eastern Cape Province, and South Africa at large, and the development of a sustainable economy for a benefit of all. We must continue to remove the legislative uncertainty, bureaucratic red tape in funding flows, infrastructure challenges, and skills gap, especially in respect of our youth and women. I was very proud to see that in the program, 99% of the participants are women. And I think we should give ourselves a round of applause to that respect. It means we are going somewhere in making sure that women are empowered in our society. The NMB will fully participate in removing obstacles to investment in empowering marginalized sectors. We can provide better prospects for the science and technology industry and for many people desperately looking for work. We can give hope to the industry and develop thriving SMMEs, which is the engine of our economy. If we are not taking care of our SMMEs, that means we are a country and a city going nowhere very fast. The Nelson Mandela University ensures that we conform in all various initiatives, that's research, technology, and innovation, which are critical for its success and sustainability. Without the necessary skills base, we will not be able to grow our economy. The Department of Education and Training, this center, the Science Center of Nelson Mandela Bay, and other relevant stakeholders responsible for the implementation of all skills development initiative, which forms part of growing our economy. Our sound ICT, science and innovation governance, and economic growth will help us achieve this in a broader way and in an immense way that will positively have an effect on our people. A vital ingredient is good cooperation. Working together makes us stronger and more effective. This Science Center is one of many positive developments that we have accomplished in Nelson Mandela Bay. We envisaged constituting a strong economic relationship between all partners and strengthening partnerships and collaboration within the African continent. As a Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, to express our full support to the Science Center and foster the implementation of partnerships and collaboration that will certainly ensure a better science center, which is viability for Nelson Mandela Bay, Africa, and the development of a sustainable African economy for the benefit of Africa. We wish you a success and look forward to hearing from you very soon on how we can continue to share in this collaborative action and partnership. We are confident that together as responsible citizens, we will overcome our challenges, such as global warming, and leave behind a healthy, sustainable environment for future generations to enjoy. It is quite evident that as responsible citizens of NMB, we have a shared responsibility to ensure that we respond proactively to the challenges and opportunities that are presented in our collective quest to find answers to the same challenges. Once again, a warm and hearty congratulations to a decade and many more decades to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And as he concludes, MMC walks in. Now what to do? Reshuffling has happened. He spoke about D-Day being Friday, but it came very soon. I think if the House allows me to make a second executive decision, it would only be proper to note the presence of MMC Lawrence Tron, who is an MMC for Safety and Security, responsible for our safety, MMC Tron, as well as the guest speaker, MMC Lukolo Namete, who's also just arrived. Please, MMC Namete. Thank you very much. As we progress with the program, we've prepared a highlights video. Literally the team, I think they finished it this morning because it had to be like spot on. And the CEO had to see it. And literally hot off the press. So please relax a little bit. It's only 4 minutes. But in that 4 minutes, I would like to call upon, to call on the next speaker to be ready. She's going to be talking to us about what it is that we, as partners, as stakeholders and funders and potential funders, and as government can do to make sure that we build for the next 10 years. That's the next conversation after the 4-minute video. We'll dim the lights on screen.
With the advances in science and technology and the fourth industrial revolution, we as the Science Center had to revise our vision to include and accommodate the ever-changing science and technology sector. Our long-term vision is to transform the Science Center into the first innovation hub in the Eastern Cape. And this will be achieved by partnering with organizations with similar interest and vision. I believe that the Science Center should be playing an integral part in bringing these skills to the learners and the people of Newtown to ensure that they are better equipped to participate in the fourth industrial revolution.
Hi, my name is Lutando Nomzaza. I'm the founder and director of Curious Quest Tutors. I'm an award-winning social entrepreneur. Curious Quest is a social enterprise that offers mathematics and science tutoring. We have been in the tutoring space for 9 years and we will be finishing 10 years next year. What a coincidence. This partnership came at the right time for many learners and parents who were looking for help, especially post-COVID-19, because a lot of students or a lot of learners have been struggling with catching up and trying to close down the gaps from the previous years due to lockdown. Well, working with Science Center has helped a great deal. We now have access to resources that we would not have easily had access to. We are now able to talk about science and mathematics in a practical sense. We are now able to point learners to exactly what we are talking about because they can see it around. Our learners have also become more interested and passionate about sciences because now they are in an environment that encourages this, and this is really, really good. For this reason, we are super excited and very, very proud to be partnering with Science Center. And well, on the 10-year celebration of Science Center, we want to wish the center many, many more years of productive work in the community and many successes to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am Richmond Mzwake Festile. I am the Senior Education Specialist in the Nelson Mandela Bay District. With the center, I am the middleman between the center and the community of education in the Nelson Mandela. That is very much exciting to know at this time we have reached 10 years. 10 years it's been too long, but it looks like it's just last year when we started working with the Science Center. It has very much assisted us and I'm very much excited.
The team that put it together, a round of applause. Well done. All right, so when we discussed this event, at the MBDA, we're very conscious about limited resources, and we don't throw parties for no reason. So we said, there must be something that comes out of this. It must yield to something, and that's something, that's why we've prepped you up to now, because we want something. The least we are looking for is really a hand and a partnership and joining us in driving this place going forward for the next 10 years. Also taken advantage that there were questions this week to us about whether we are capable to manage facilities as per reports the other day. And we're thankful that the reporters are here and they can see for themselves how the MBDA manages facilities on behalf of the city. So, to call up the next speaker, it's Ms. Nomso Kana, who is also an advisory committee member. She is the deputy chairperson of the advisory committee. She'll be talking to us about how you can join us and push this place forward for the next 10 years. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon. I must really thank our super awesome chairperson of MBDA and our principals that have graced this occasion. All protocol observed. We're quite grateful that we could have high dignitaries in this. Debbie and Glenda, you spoke so well when you were here, and how you also highlighted the needs of this awesome place. Anyone who brings their child here, I promise you, they will be motivated and encouraged to pursue science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and be very innovative. I just want to share a few points before I speak about this form that they're currently distributing. As a professional, I am a nuclear scientist, and in my other caps that I wear, I sit in the Presidential 4IR Commission. And one of the foremost things we said about 4IR is that it must serve, the 4IR technologies must serve the needs of South Africa. Two things, it's not a silver bullet. Number one, it must be used to solve the socio-economic challenges that we face. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are key to that. And secondly, it must be used to actually bring the generation. South Africa is youthful, and being youthful, it means we have a demographic dividend. We need to invest in the youth. We need to invest in those that have not had the opportunity to actually have access to quality education, and this place produces that. I really want to thank you, Glenda, and also, the whole team at MBDA on how you, surmountably support Singer to actually explore so many things and open up this place. When I started in 2019, two of the members, one that's not here, we started in 2019, and the enormous amount of work that they had to put in order to make this place so visible, and it comes through your support. It's great to have, managers that really believe in the vision of their teams. I really applaud you for that. And really speaking into this form, it's really quite simple, and I hope everyone has it. So the team, the beautiful ladies, and also the interns that work enormously for this place that are distributing it, ask for a pen, write your details. We're going to capture all the details. But essentially what needs to happen is that we need partnership. So when we say partnership, we mean both from your pocket and from your hand, right? And you know someone who has 10 million that they're just planning to keep in their banks, right? I really hope you do. And in that, we're looking for 5 different types of partners here. Number one, people that can donate into the Science Center. As you have seen, we are sitting on level 2 in the accreditation, and would like to really increase that and get more stars so that we are able to produce, the next Elon Musk coming from this area, MMC, coming from this area where you can be so proud that you led a community that produces great scientists, great innovators, and technologists. And also a collaborative partner for our programs. We have several programs, and I think my colleague, Mr. Festile, mentioned coding, mentioned quite a whole lot of things. I must tell you that this morning I got a report from one of the, startup founders. And this person, they're coming from SA, but they built an algorithm for AI, artificial intelligence, and they sold it to the US. And this is an 18-year-old. They sold it for $18 million, but just building a code. An 18-year-old who's sitting with almost $19 million US. And this is someone who just built a technological digital asset. And that's it. So the ways of getting new money, it is through science and technology. Ways of ensuring that people are wealthy through their knowledge, it is through such places that are located in such, great areas. You see, there's a taxi rank here. So easy for a parent to say, I want my child to be encouraged in the sciences, and they see this place. So we're quite grateful for great leadership that leads this place. And there's a third type of partnership by assisting, providing coaching and advisory services. We saw on the video the company that's locally based that assists in maths and science. These are some of the critical parts in order to harness, maths skills to young learners, is that, excuse me, you do need people that can actually ensure that they capture the foundations of mathematics, physical sciences, chemistry, and all other subjects that are quite important. So if you know people that are in these, we're going to have a database and we'll ensure that they are included in our programs. And fourthly, help with providing exposure for the Nelson Mandela Science Center. This is quite so important. The Science Center is very active on social media platforms, so what's important is that follow it, retweet, reshare, I think that's what is done, or even do your TikTok challenges around it so that you are supporting it. And I think when we had that beautiful item here, a lot of people were dancing, others were also quite very shy, chairperson. But on Twitter they're not, on TikTok they're not shy. So when you do your challenges, do support and just amplify the work of the Science Center. And just lastly, assist with linking up the team with key relevant funders and partners. I think if maybe from your end you do not have the means currently, but you would know people that can link them up, link up with relevant partners. And just now, as we were sitting down and our program director was going through the program, one of our members, Ms. Yandi Swahia, she's an ambassador at Ford South Africa for the new generation Ford Ranger. And it starts around 1.1 million. And she just sent a message right now to the chief operations in the US and say, we just want a model to be brought here. And they responded and said, yes, it's coming. So please stand and just a hand of applause for that. This is some of the stuff. And I must say, Singer brought us together in a way that there's so much synergy around the team. And that synergy also is, you've seen the video on how diverse the center is. Everyone is welcomed because we believe once you empower a child, they're able to spread this around in their schools. And out of the 80 schools that already have been influenced, the Science Center is really taking a lead. Even in DSI, so Dr. Mjwaha also was really very supportive of this place because this is what when they speak of science centers, the ecosystem of it, they mention this place as an example. So we're so grateful for the leadership from the agency as well as the operations team and Singer also, who's just the engine for this place. And then just lastly, some of the ideas we're throwing around, perhaps maybe later in the year, since, I'm gonna put her on the spot. Since Yandisa is one of the members, is that we're going to run a competition where we select about 30, 50 students, 20 students. We're going to take them to Pretoria to the Ford production so that they can see how this car is made. And we're going to focus in this area, from the DBE with their assistants also, and also from your office, MMC, so that we are not only doing educational, but also this is educational tourism, so that many can see that there are such areas that they can come and see, because this place also serves as a great museum. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm standing between your networking and lunchtime. I'm going to stop right there. And thank you so much for your attention.
Nuclear scientist. Yo. Actually, lunch has been postponed. It's been postponed by 2 minutes. That 2 minutes is to allow each and everyone who's got a form, just fill the details, just for 2 minutes. And when you're done with the form, any of our helpers who are around, the ladies and gents in white t-shirts, you can just give it to them. A final change as a non-executive decision is that the gentleman who is our acting CEO unfortunately couldn't be with us today for personal reasons. And he would be up here to do a vote of thanks after we've had our entertainment and brunch. But because these things happen for a reason, you know, that meeting at the council chamber here that ended early gave us an opportunity to tap in for a replacement. So we will humbly ask the MMC of EDTA to thank our guests who are here for attending this occasion, and to really maybe say a word or two. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we had entertainment from Michael Mabete. He will be back while we are having our brunch. And some of the tables in front, there's something we want to say to you on this side. So the helpers, please, you know which tables need to go to this side for that side conversation. Please lead them there because we need those signatures. So without wasting time, let's welcome our MMC, Lukolo Namete, for a vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Program Director, thank you very much for this opportunity that you have given me. But you know, I'm a very clever politician. One thing about me that I cannot do is to block the people from going to eat. So I won't waste time and give you a speech. I will just say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure today you've learned one or two things, and I'm sure you are going to send your children. Thank you very much, Mr. Stepa. I see you there, my friend. I know you are very passionate about Nelson Mandela, more especially in the education side. Thank you very much. Let's go and eat. Thank you.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the private consultation with those desks is on this side. So guys, please go to the table that needs to go to this side and show them there. And then at the back, we can start enjoying our brunch. There's no order, just enjoy the day. And thank you to the team that asked me to do this job because of cost savings. I've noted it. And Michael, please entertain us. Thank you.
Three, two, one. It's simple. I love it, having you near me, having you here. Our conversations outrageous. You smile, and I smile, and I say, ooh, this is getting personal, personal, personal. Let's stay for a while and play. Girl, let's make this a moment. Oh, giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, oh, having you close to me, amazing, I see you, outrageous, give your best to me. Second verse, good morning, it's breakfast, lost track of time, but we had a ball. Let's catch a movie, then dinner, tonight, well, just unwind and say, yeah, let's stay personal. Let's stay for a while and play such a beautiful woman. Whoa, giving you the best of me, giving you the best of me. Amazing. Whoa, having you close to me, amazing. Hey, outrageous. Give your best to me, giving you the best of me, giving you the best of me. Amazing. Whoa, having you close to me, hey, amazing. Whoa. I see you. Amazing, someone outrageous, yeah. Have you close to me, amazing. Whoa, whoa, give you the best of me, amazing. Someone outrageous, yeah. Have you close to me, amazing. Whoa, whoa. Next song. Thank you. Let's do the next one. Hey. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you, yeah. Every day and every night we'll be together. With a roof right over our heads, we'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room. For Jah provide the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Love that I'm feeling. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Love that I'm feeling. Oh, hey, I wanna know now. I got to know now. I'm willing and able. So I throw my cards on your table. See, I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room. For Jah provide the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Love that I'm feeling. Is this love? Love that I'm feeling. Yeah. Oh, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know now. Oh, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know now. I'm willing to enable. So I throw my cards on your table. I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you. Love and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed, yeah. Hope everyone is having a good time, enjoying the lunch. We're still carrying on with the show.